2 days ago, there was a situation in Washington D.C. after the March for Life that occurs annually. There were this group of kids who were just about to be they were about to head back to their campus when a bunch of Black Hebrew Israelites, which is a hate group, started to spout racist BS against them, trying to agitate them in some way. Now, thankfully, those kids did not do anything bad. In fact, the best way they managed to just beat them down, just to say, is just chanting their school slogan, just trying to have fun, and even trying to drown out these Black Hebrew Israelites. Now, just later in another part of the video, there is a group of Native American activists led by this guy named Nathan Phillips, who just come in after supposedly, in their own words, hearing the kids say "build the wall" or chanting "build the wall," and just trying to get in their faces, or just trying to in a way confront them. Now, there wasn't any violence, of course. I bet that's completely obvious, but still, they went into out of their path to try to confront these kids. Some of them who were wearing MAGA hats. Now, one time, Nathan Phillips managed to get closer to this kid named Nick Sandman, and he was banging his drum. Everybody thought that Nathan Phillips was just trying to maybe have fun with them, so they kind of had fun too. They were going hey, and that sort of thing. I mean, there was obviously no malicious intent. But Nick, when Nathan Phillips was getting close to this kid, all he did was just smirk. It just smiled. Nothing more. He smiled. And it was more of an awkward kind of smile than an actual genuine smile, like any smug smile. It was more like he didn't know what was going on, and he just didn't know what to do. And yet the media managed to blow it all out of proportion. In fact, the same day this occurred, a lot of people began denouncing him, like Don Lemon, Kathy Griffin, and so many others. In fact, but that is not the worst thing I've ever seen before. That is not the worst. Because some people actually have considered supporting the idea of doxing these kids and to get them expelled, completely ruining their lives for just this small thing, which really didn't cause any trouble for anyone. And again, it was just an awkward smile that this kid didn't know what to do, especially when confronted with this activist. There was nothing that he could think of. I would probably do the same thing as him. I would probably just smirk or just make a funny face, because I wouldn't know what the hell to do. I wouldn't know if I were confronted in that situation. If the roles were reversed, if instead of Nick Sandman, I was there in his place. But continuing on, people like Kathy Griffin and a few other celebrities, and a lot of people on the internet, like on Reddit, actually tried to dox this kid and so many others who were part of the trip, and even Covington high school in Covington Catholic High School in a much broader sense. They even went so far as to issue death threats. One time there was this a Disney employee that actually posted a tweet uh about Nick Sandmann smirking, and I don't know where the picture came from, but it was obvious that it was a kid being shoved in a woodcutter and blood spewing out of it. First up, the doxing and the threat of violence over this. Now, thankfully, the meat has decided that maybe, just maybe, we did make it a little hasty. We kind of been hasty in our judgment. No shit, Sherlock's. Thanks to you, because of one guy smirking, he's probably going to be harassed by a lot of other people. People who are probably not from his school. Probably even on the internet calling for death threats. And he's not the only victim. Michael Hodge, who was mistakenly identified as Nick Sandman, was also accused of something like this, and he was doxed, he was threatened through Twitter, and all of this just because he was mistaken for being at Washington D.C. when he wasn't. It's crazy. I don't know. I don't understand how people keep themselves up at night. Just the idea of doxing someone is bad enough, but to literally call on people blowing up a high school or even a school shooting, among other sort of things, that is beyond evil. That really is. And all of this because of one guy being uncomfortable when confronted in the face by a Native American activist. That's it. And I've seen so many headlines that obviously are just to bash Trump, but are also saying that this is an act of white supremacy, all just for Smiley. If that's the case, then just saying hi to another girl is considered rape. I'm not even kidding. There's a lot of there's several articles which I will put down in the description below, which I will show examples of that sort of thing. And again, all of this for just one guy standing there feeling a little bit awkward about the situation that he is faced with. None of this should even be... It shouldn't be possible. No one has the right to be doxxed. No one. Absolutely no one. Because this, not only does it come out against you, it blows up against your family and your friends. All because of something that you did. Apparently because that they're associated with you, that makes them guilty as well. I don't... this whole mom mentality from the left and the mainstream media in general is entirely toxic. You want to know something that's actually toxic, Gillette? It's this. It's judging person without the looking into the context of every single situation. Because thanks to the mainstream media and now the left, Nick Sandman and Michael Hodge are gonna have to be dealing with this shit for the rest of their lives. And honestly, I hope that they sue these companies for libel. Because this is legitimate libel. Because they had the opportunity to look in at the full video, which was absolutely easily available for them at the time, but they decided not to, and in turn, this damaged these two kids' reputation, and now it's going to threaten their very lives. And again, all because of Smirk. That's just pathetic. No amount of backtracking, no matter what you do, does not make up for this. Not only does this show the true image of the radical left, it shows the true image of the mainstream media, immediately judging before looking into the evidence. That's why I like what Donald Trump said in his tweet, that these kids are the victims of fake news. And that is absolutely correct. Because they have been judged severely about what they see. All that the mainstream media and the left wants to see. They want to see a white supremacist bashing, just trying to assault a Native American activist or even black people. But when reality hits in, it's completely different. No amount of doxing no amount of apology is going to make this. It's going to make this change anything. You are guilty because you are the ones who spread this fake news. Without any real methodical evidence. Without even looking at the entire context of the video. And you know what the worst thing about all of this is? They're negating the fact of what Nathan Phillips and the black Hebrew Israelites did while confronting these kids. The black Hebrew Israelites are a pretty racist hate group, and it's mainly black supremacists. So they've been spewing out all kinds of crap against anyone that they don't like. Especially on these kids who were predominantly white, and they cussed out many names, which I will not say in this video. And aside from Nathan Phillips getting to the face of Nick Sandman, which although it's not assault or anything, which thankfully I'm glad neither side went that far. It still was being provoking. It doesn't even help that he went so far as to lie that he claimed that the group was saying build that wall, when in fact you see in the entire video that is not the case. I cannot. How is it that the media ignores these two groups and yet focuses on the white kid who is smirking? Or just not smirking, just awkwardly smiling because he doesn't know what to deal with this situation. Seriously, what? How is that even possible? I cannot believe a lot of people are acting like this. How they're willing to go so far as to issue death threats against these kids, all because they did something that that the public deems is guilty. And this is the reason why I'm with the founding fathers in hating democracy, because once you leave it to the mob, everything that the mob says is going to happen no matter what, and it's tyranny of a majority. Why? That's why we have the electoral college, and that's why we have the courts. If left to their own devices, the mob would do anything they want. If they wanted to, they would lynch this kid. And that's why I hate this mob mentality of the left. This is just only gonna damage us. It's going to damage discourse even further. Because if the simple act of smiling makes you a white supremacist, then I don't know how to counter that insane mentality. Speaking of mentalities, during this fiasco, there have been a lot of celebrities and a lot of other people who have continued to stand by their own by their own statements of trying to dox this kid, trying to discredit him in any way, like Kathy Griffin and a lot of other celebrities. In fact, they called the MAGA hats that these kids were wearing, basically wearing swastikas or the white hoods of the Ku Klux Klan. If that's the case, then anyone with a D next to their name is considered a communist. You see how stupid that logic is? You're dehumanizing the other side. I cannot understand the mentality of these people. I cannot. It's people like you, the people who support this doxing this guy, trying to ruin his life. It's people like you that are ruining the discourse in this country, and why it's causing a divide. I hope in the future we find a way to fix all of that. But right now, it feels like the divide is getting wider and wider and wider. My name is Noah Mean, not the Arc Truth. Please post your comments down below, subscribe, like this video, and share it with your friends. Bye.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain.